Out of all the fighting games out there, King of Fighters is the only game that kind of makes sense. I say kinda cause some stuff in this game don't make sense at all. Like how did Chen get that big thick chain ball? Not his little balls, but he carries a big chain ball. Pause, no Diddy, and many more I'll be speaking about. So yeah, let's speak about it and let's get straight into it, okay? At the start of almost every King of Fighters game, they tell you what will happen in the game. At least they tell you that someone hosted the tournament and all participants got invitation letters, unlike in Street Fighter or Tekken. What do I mean by that? Well, in Street Fighter Alpha 2, which takes place after one but before the other games, we don't know why we are fighting. Like my guy Ryu is traveling across the world fighting people whom he don't know why they are fighting. And even when you fight Bison at the end, he doesn't tell you that he hosted the tournament, he just tells you that he wants your body. And let's compare it with King of Fighters 97. Even if the game doesn't tell you right from the start that someone is hosting the tournament, but the announcer, the crowd watching every match, and after the finals, Orochi, Ashiro, Shermi, and Chris show up and tell you that they are the ones who hosted the tournament and why they hosted the tournament, which makes sense rather than a game where you find niggas in their homes, a prison, and in front of their families for no reason. But I kind of like, understand that it is called Street Fighter, because you understand it is street fights, niggas are just meeting up in the streets. But saying that sentence makes it to make no sense at all, because like it is the thing whereby how did I get to fight by saying after fighting Ken? How did I get to even get to Ken, which is something that I don't understand, which is way better in King of Fighters, since at least in King of Fighters 90s or even 2003 at the start the intro scene, you see people holding invitation letters to show somebody was hosting the tournament and gave them invitation letter. I feel like that first part was just to compare the two games, but I just wanted to show how King of Fighters kind of makes sense from Taken Street Fighter Alpha 3, sorry, not Taken. Because it is a fighting game, there are going to be some similarities with stupid nonsense, like how niggas don't die. Just like Bison and Heihachi, here we got Rugal, the guy who controls all the militaries of the world, since he has control of the most dangerous weapons, and he is Kakashi, copies moves of other niggas. His first death was in King of Fighters 94 at the hands of Kyo and his friends. Came back in 95 and died due to much Orochi power, since he wanted the Orochi power. Although he is the final boss in 98 and 2002, those games ain't canon. But now he's back in 15. How, you may ask? Well, I too don't know either. At least Bison's story kind of makes sense because he's like Orochimaru. If you understand Orochimaru's story from Naruto, you will get what I mean. And in Street Fighter 2, he did something better because he was the one who hosted that tournament, okay? And even in Street Fighter 5, which kind of makes sense. But with Rugal, he just appeared for no reason out of nowhere, like no story, nothing. He was just a boss rush. He wasn't even part of the storyline of King of Fighters 15, nothing. The crazy / stupid thing about King of Fighters is what happened after 97. In 97, Kyo, Iori, and Chizuru fought Orochi and managed to kill him. I guess so. And Iori should have died after that Kyo's punch, which you can literally see that he really punched the shit out of him. And Chizuru had no purpose in the fight at all. That's besides the point though. After the final attack, Kyo and I guess Iori fell unconscious, and some Nest guys captured Kyo to make clones of him to conquer the world, which makes me wonder why they didn't also capture Iori, since he had Orochi's curse, just like Sasuke who had Orochimaru's curse. But maybe Iori gained conscious before the Nests arrived, but he could have grabbed Kyo and took him to safety. Well, many of you might be skeptical about Orochi, thinking he's weak. Well, that's because he needs a host body to survive, and Chris is his vessel, just like Orochimaru, who needed Sasuke to get another vessel for him to survive. Which makes me wonder, wait, did Naruto steal from King of Fighters? One cool thing about this game that makes sense is the fact that SNK doesn't keep one guy as the main character all the time, unlike somebody. And they actually make those characters great. Like, they don't just say, okay, you are the main character, but this story is going to be focused mostly on somebody else. Sure, Kyo was the main character in King of Fighters 94, 95, 96, and 97, I guess, but in 99 till 01, the guy whom the story was mostly focused on is K-Dash, who is a Kyo clone from when Kyo got abducted by Nests. In 03, I don't quite understand who are the main characters, but I guess Ralph and his team are, since they are the ones who won the tournament. But I'm pretty sure they didn't fight Adelaide Rugal's son, or the stone guy from Nets, whom I don't quite remember his name. Cause when you finish 03, you either fight Adelaide or that stone guy. I can't get into games past 03 since I haven't played them, but the storyline of these games is really interesting. Sure, 94 and 95 storyline was weird, but from 96 till 03, the storyline was really interesting, and I kinda like understand, like, with like 94, 95, since, like, they were still, like, studying. It was after, like, the Fatal Fury games, although they had craze to rely on, but you kind of understand why, like, 94, 95 story kind of